Yes, it has happened before. The Chinese did a test in 2007. The Indians did a test in 2019 where they destroyed a satellite. And the Russians have done one now in 2021. I think that they've done this primarily to demonstrate that they have a space weapons capability to the US. But it does create a huge problem in terms of space debris that will spread across much of low Earth orbit and interfere and potentially pose a hazard to the International Space Station, as well as the Chinese Tiangong Space Station and numerous satellites. The Americans did a test in 2008 called Operation Burnt Frost, which they destroyed an errant satellite that had toxic propellant on board and was going to re-enter in an uncontrolled manner potentially over populated areas. But they developed that test in a way that was very careful to ensure that most of the satellite burnt up rather than creating space debris. That's different to the Russian and the Chinese and the Indian test, which has created massive clouds of space debris. Space debris, as the name suggests, is bits of stuff that breaks off from satellites. It could be anything from tiny, small-sized particles through to large chunks of matter. And the danger that it poses is because it's moving at orbital velocity, which is about 27,000 kilometers an hour. So even the smallest particles will do damage to a spacecraft. As for whether it can be cleaned up, will largely depend on how the commercial space sector develops that capability in the future. But certainly there is a lot of money to be made in terms of space debris removal in the commercial space sector, which I think will be a very interesting area to watch. Space debris is set to increase. It is going to become more congested up there. So there's already international legal efforts to try and establish norms of responsible behaviour. There's an open-ended working group that's been established that will look at this over the coming years and provide advice and non-binding resolutions towards preventing the growth of space debris as well as other issues. But certainly it is going to be a growing problem, and particularly as commercial space expands up into a lot more activity in space, you'll see increasing challenges there. Look, they launched the DART mission, which is designed to crash a small spacecraft into a small asteroid. The objective is to see if that can change the trajectory of that asteroid so that in the future, if there is an asteroid that's heading towards Earth, we have some way of diverting that asteroid in that manner. The challenge, of course, is this is a very small spacecraft going up against a relatively large asteroid, so it may not have a huge impact, but certainly I think that it's an important step forward in terms of gathering useful information on asteroid threat mitigation techniques. The common sort of Hollywood thing is you send Bruce Willis up with nuclear weapons, and that probably won't work. So this is probably the best way to go forward in terms of preventing the threat of asteroids.